Today we are going to study about the story of amber beads. Amber is a kind of gem. It is a natural substance which is used to create decorative things. It create decorative stones. But it is found naturally in the nature. So, how amber beads are formed? What are the qualities of the amber beads? How at first it is being recognized in this nature. All these things have been told in this story, and this story is written by Jane Andrew. And Jane Andrew has written this story in a very interesting way, weaving a story of her grandmother. So let us start the. Do you know Mother Nature? She it is to whom the care of earth has been given, and all that grows in or upon it, just as the responsibility of your care has been given to your elders. So here, first of all, the author is telling about the Mother Nature, what Mother Nature does for us, how she takes care of all the things that happens on earth, how strong she is, how interesting she is, how patient she is. Who is she? Mother Nature. So, at first, the author of this story is telling all about the nature and its qualities and its uh, great things. So, do you know Mother Nature? She it is to whom the care of the earth has been given, and all that grows in or upon it, just as the responsibility of your care has been given to your elders. Just like in your family, your elders, your mother, your father, your elder sister take cares of you. They take they care all of your needs. They care all the things that is good for you or for betterment for you. Just like that, in this whole universe, on this planet, Mother Earth is given this responsibility to take care all its inhabitants, all its natives. You may think that Mother Nature, like the famous old woman who lived in the shoe, has so many children that she does not know what to do. But you will know better when you become acquainted with her and learn how strong she is. So you may think the Mother Nature, like the famous, here the author is referring a fable which is about the old lady who has more than 50 children, and she took care all of them all the time. She does not ignore any one of them. She fulfills all their needs. So here Mother Nature is just like that old woman, and author is telling here that she is uh, very interesting, very acquainted. When you will know that how what the things another Mother Nature does for us, so you will become acquainted with her, that and you will definitely say that Mother Nature is really strong for us. And how active, how she can really be in 50 places at once, taking care of a sick tree or a baby flower just born, and at the same time building underground palaces, guiding the steps of little travelers, setting out on long journey, and sweeping, dusting, and arranging her great house, the earth. And all the while, in the midst of her patience and never-ending work, she will tell us the most charming and marvelous stories of ages ago when she was young, or the treasures that lie hidden in the most distant and secret closets of her palace. Just such stories as you all like so well to hear your mother tell when you gather round her in the twilight. In the twilight. So, in this paragraph, the author is telling about the three qualities of of nature. First, nature is active. How? Nature is active because she can handle many things at one time. She can care every of the native of this earth at same time. She can take care of the sick tree. She can take care of the newborn baby flower. She can build things, new things for many other creatures. The same way she can allow so many small creatures under the ground to create to travel from one place to another place. She does sweeping, she does dusting through the air, blowing and arranging all the great things in her house. The house, which house? This earth house. So here we can see the Mother Earth is very active. The author is telling the Mother Earth is very active. And all the while, in the midst of her patience and never ending work, she will tell us the most charming and marvelous stories of ages ago when she was young, or of the treasures that lie hidden in the most distant and secret closets of her palace. So, in these lines, the author is clearly telling that Mother Nature is also interesting. Mother Nature is interesting because she also reveals many stories of hidden things inside her. So we have, when we explore these things, it creates a stories, and it is just like that. She is telling us interesting stories. So second thing, what Mother Nature is interesting in itself. Another thing that you can understand, that Mother Nature is very strong. One third thing that the author describes is the Mother Nature is very strong. How it is, how it is strong? She is strong because she can do all the thing all the time without resting for a while. So it suggests us that the Mother Nature is very strong. We should also like to be Mother Nature with all three these qualities. We should be active, we should be strong, we should be interesting at the same time. So these are the three things that Mother Nature tells us. A few of these stories which she has told to me, I am about to tell you, beginning with this one. So here the author is telling you, my grandmother as tells me many stories about the Mother Nature. One of these story I am going to tell you. So she starts over here. I know a little Scottish girl. She lives among the highlands. Her home is hardly more than a hut. Her food, broth and bread. Her father keeps sheep on the hillsides, and instead of wearing a coat, wraps himself in his plaid. For protection from the cold winds that drive before them great clouds of mist and snow among the mountains. So here she starts the story with a Scottish girl. In this story, there is a Scottish girl. Scottish is a place, Scotland, and the person native of Scotland is called Scottish. So it is, this story is about this Scottish girl, and this girl lives in the Highlands, means the on the hills. And she was not very rich person. They had only a hut. In food they only had broth and bread. Broth is a kind of watery dish, soup type of dish, which is not very rich in ingredients. And bread. Her father keeps his sheep on the hillsides, and instead of wearing a coat, wraps himself in his plaid. There, she was not very much. That is why she does not have a proper coat to save herself from the bitter weather. Instead, she always used to wear a plaid. Plaid is called a long. You can see here in the picture, she is wearing a long gown type thing, which saves her from the cold winds. So she was not much rich person. They were very simple. They had simple food to eat. They had a small hut to live. They had simple clothing to wear, but still they were very happy. So as for Jeannie herself, Zini is the name of that Scottish girl. You must be careful to spell her name with an E. For that is a Scotch fashion. In a Scotch fashion, fashion means here tradition, the way of language. You can mark it here. This is called fashion, means the way of tradition. So in this Scotch language, is always E, and A is always pronounced as E. So as for Zini herself, her yellow hair is bound about with a little snood. The snood is called a kind of a scarf which is worn on the head to bind up the hairs. So her face is tanned by exposure to the weather. Tanned means here, this tanned means her face, her skin becomes very tanny. Wrinkles are there just due to the exposure to the weather. When we used to have the very exposure of the weather, when we used to live in the open weather, then sometimes we have bed marks or when scars on our face. These kind of scars, teeny tiny scars, are called tanning. So, and her hands are hardened by work, for she helps her mother Elsie to cook and sew, to spin and weave. She was very also very hardworking girl. She or helped her father in the shipping, and she helps her mother in all the things that is being done in the home as well. So her grandmother is named Elsie. One present little genie has which many a lady would be proud to wear. It is a necklace of amber beads, lemur beads, lemur beads, lemur. You can repeat this word yourself, lemur. Here, R is not sounding properly. It should be inside your mouth only. Lemur. So one treasure little genie has, which many a lady would be proud to wear. It is amber beads. So what the richness Genie had a necklace of amber beads. So this kind of amber beads was called lemur beads. Old Elsie calls them. So the grandmother Elsie all used to call that amber beads as lemur beads. That is the name they went by when she was young. You have perhaps seen amber and know its rich, sunshiny color and its fragrance when rubbed. And do you know also that rubbing will make amber attract things somewhat as a magnet does? So you might hear author wants to know that you might know about the amber beads, the quality of amber beads, but might be you do not know. So you can know here that amber beads are rich. They are rich in quality. It has sunshiny color, yellow sunshiny color. It has a fragrance inside it. When we rub it, it creates a fragrance also. And do you also know that rubbing will make amber attract things somewhat as the magnet does? When we used to rub the magnet, it creates a magnetic effect. Same way, amber beads on being rubbed also creates a magnetic effect. Genie's beads had all these properties, but some others besides, wonderful and lovely, and it is of those particularly that I wish to tell you. So these are the very basic qualities of an amber bead, but Genie's amber beads had some other qualities also. So here Genie is trying to tell about these qualities which only her amber beads are having. So each bead has inside of it some tiny things. These are very important line. You can underline these. Each bead has inside of it some tiny things encased as if it had grown in the amber. And Zini is never tired of looking at and wondering about them. There is one with a delicate bit of ferny moss shut up as it were in a globe of yellow light. In another is the tiniest fly. His little wings outspread and raised for flight again. So what were these were the qualities that Zini's amber beads were having. So what are these? That her amber beads were enclosed with tiny things inside it. उसके जो एम्बर बीड्स थे उसके अंदर कुछ छोटी छोटी चीजें नेचुरल थिंग्स नेचुरल क्रिएचर्स नेचुरल प्लांट्स वर एम्बेडेड उसके अंदर एम्बेडेड थी इट वाज जस्ट लाइक समवन हैज weaved amber beads around these creatures. So what are these some tiny things just like the moss you can, and these are so pretty that Zini never tired of looking at it. These were looking so good, so beautiful that Zini used to keep gazing on these. Ferny moss. The ferny moss is a kind of vegetation that grows under the ground. Ferny full of leaves, tiny leaves. As and Another is the tiniest fly. In another bead, there was some tiny fly keeping inside. His little wings outspread, whose wings were spreaded out as she is or as it is about to fly from the ember beads. So these all these things were embedded in the amber beads. So that is why the genie's amber beads were very beautiful and special about. So till here, I hope everyone has understood what the amber beads are. Let's move ahead. She can show us a bee locked in one bead that looks like solid honey and a little bright winged beetle in another. So here again, the author is telling what are there in her amber beads. This one holds two slender pine needles lying across each other, and here we see a single scale of a pine cone, while yet another shows an atom of an acorn cup fit for a fairy's use. I wish you could see the beads, for I cannot tell you the half of their beauty. So here the author is telling, see, you can see in these beads, the beads are shown over there in the picture. You can see here, see, tiny things are embedded in these beads, because the author herself says she is not able to describe the beauty of these amber beads. So you should see yourself over there how the tiny things are embedded in these gems. Now, where do you suppose they come from? And how did little Scotch Genie come into possession of such a treasure? Now, there must be a question in your mind that how Genie could find such a grateful thing. So, as she knows about it is that her grandfather, old Kenneth, who covers now all day in the chimney corner, once years ago, when he was a young lad, went down upon the seashore after a great storm, hoping to save something from the wreck of the Goshak that had gone ashore during the night, and there among the slippery seaweeds of his foot and accidentally uncovered a clear shining lump of amber. So all she knows about it is that her grandfather, old Kenneth, who covers now all day in the chimney corner, once years ago when he was young, lad went down upon the seashore after the great storm. So what is Jeannie knows about the amber bead is कि उसके grandfather, old Kenneth was the name of her grandfather. Once when he was the covers is someone who cleans up the chimneys. You can see in the yellow box here, covers means shrinks away or crouches, especially for shelters. In the it is a position of cleaning. It is a position in which we use to shrink our body to go inside something narrow place. किसी छोटे से narrow place के अंदर जाने के लिए when we shrink our body, that kind of situation is called covers. So when the grandfather was very young, he used to go do the job of a chimney cleaner. Chimney means, if you have seen, in the ancient time, in the old time, there were chimneys in the house, in the homes, and that were used to be get cleaned. So the chimney cleaner work was done by the grandfather, and when he was young, he once went to the seashore to save some creatures and some things after a storm. एक storm आया था, उसके बाद वो वहां पर शी शोर पर गए थे कि वहां पर वो जाकर कुछ लोगों को, creatures को वो बचा सके. At that time she found a lump of shining amber on the seashore. तब उन्हें seashore पे किनारे पे, समुद्र के किनारे पर, that is like shining lump he found, and out of that our lump of the amber he carved into the small beads. So in which all these little creatures were embedded. Now, Kenneth loved a pretty Highland lass, and when she promised to be his bride, he brought her a necklace of amber beads. He had carved them himself out of his lump of amber, working carefully to save in each bead the prettiest insect or moss, and thinking while he toiled after and after of the delight that with which she should see his bride wear them. That bride was Jeannie's grandmother. When she died last year, she said, "Let little Jeannie have my lemur beads and keep them as long as she lives." So till here we will till here only we will study remaining part we will do in the next class. I hope